So today is September 25th, 2017, and we know what's coming up tomorrow, yes?
Module 1 test.
Our Module 1 test. So we are really going to spend some time today reviewing and clarifying what we know about working with decimals. Okay? You've learned how to add decimals, multiply decimals, subtract decimals, divide decimals, compare decimals, and round decimals. So you know how to do a lot of things with decimals. And today we're going to make sure that you really understand how to do each one. Okay? Very good. Let's talk about the problem of the day. It says that a table and 8 chairs, altogether they weigh 235.68 pounds altogether. If the table weighs 157.84 pounds, what is the weight of one chair in pounds? Okay, the first thing you needed to write down was what the question is asking. Arvind, what's the question asking?
What's the weight of one chair?
Very good. We're trying to figure out if we know all together that one table and 8 chairs weighs a certain amount, how much does one chair weigh? Very good. What important information do we need in order to figure that out? Kish?
One table and 8 chairs are equal to 235.66 pounds.
Okay.
And the table weighs 157.84 pounds.
Very good. So if we're going to draw a tape diagram, how much does everything weigh all together?
235.68.
Good. So what you're going to do is start off by drawing your tape diagram showing the total weight. Okay? You'll notice that every time we do a tape diagram, we start by showing the total of everything. Okay? Now, what weighs 235.8 pounds? There's one what? One table. Good. Do we know how much the table weighs?
Yes.
So let's label it. 157.84. Very good. Okay. Okay, we labeled the weight of the table. What's the rest of the stuff? 8 chairs. So we should split that into how many? 8. Okay, so there's 2, 4, and 8. Do all the chairs weigh the same amount? Very good. How can I figure out how much 8 chairs weighs? How can I figure out how much 8 chairs weigh? Rohan? Wait, so I take the table and I subtract the total weight?
No, you subtract the table.
Right, I subtract the table, this amount, from the total. You always subtract something smaller from the bigger amount, right? So I take the table, or the total amount, which is 235.68, and I need to take away the weight of the table, which is 157.84. What skill are we using here? Subtraction. Very good. Okay, let's try that. If I have 8 hundredths and I want to take away 4 hundredths, how many hundredths do I have? Okay. If I have 6 tenths and I want to take away 8 tenths, can I do that? I need to first do what? So I need to take away 1 1. How many ones would I have left? 4. And how many tenths would I have then? Okay. So now if I have 16 tenths and I need to cross out 8 tenths, how many tenths do I have left? 8. Very good. Now if I have 4 ones and I need to take away 7 ones, what do I need to do first? I need to regroup by taking away one of the whats? Tens. Very good. So now I have 2 tens left. And how many ones do I have? 14. Good. If I have 14 ones and I take away 7 ones, how many ones do I have?
7.
Very good. Okay, what do I need to do to the tens again? Regroup. Now I only have 1 hundredths left. How many tens do I have to work with now?
12.
If I have 12 tens, and I take away 5 tens, how many do I have left?
7.
Good. And I have 100, and I need to take away another 100. How many do I have left? 0. Good. So is my final answer 77 and 84 cents? It's also not dollars. I don't know why I put the dollar sign. Okay. Wait, is my total answer 77 and 0.84 pounds? Why not? Jithya? Ooh, that's the total amount of all 8 chairs. And what's the question asking us to find? The weight of one chair. So if I know that 8 chairs weigh 77.84 pounds, how can I figure out how much one chair weighs? Young? Divide what?
77.84 by
Good. So I take 77.84 divided by 8. If I'm going to do that, and I want to write it in standard algorithm, what's my whole?
77.84.
Good. So I can take 77.84. That's going to, the whole always lives in the house. How many groups am I trying to split that into? 8. So that's what's knocking on the door. Very good. What's my biggest unit here? Tens. How many tens do I have? If I have 7 tens and I want to share them equally into 8 groups, how many can fit in each group? 0. Okay. How many did I use up? 0. And how many are left? Okay. When I regroup those 7 tens to become ones and brother brings down the next one, how many ones do I have altogether? 77. Okay. How many times can 77 be divided into 8? How many times can 77 be divided into 8? Jonathan? 9. Okay, so I could put 9 ones in each group. Let's record that there. When I do that, after Dad divides them into 9 into each group, Mom's going to multiply to figure out how many we used up. 9 times 8 is? 72. Okay, so that's how many we used up. When I used up 72 ones, sister will subtract that from 77 to find out how many ones we have left. How many ones would we have left? 5. Very good. Then brother's going to regroup by turning that 5 into how many tenths? 50. How many tenths? 50 tenths. Good. But then when brother brings down the 8 tenths we already have, how many tenths do we have altogether?
58.
Very good. We know the decimal takes an elevator ride up because now we're working with the tenths. If I have 58 tenths and I want to split them into 8 equal groups, how many can fit in each group, Bonnie? 7. Very good. And when I put 7 in each group, Ritvic, 7 times 8 is?
56.
Good. So I used up 56. And when I subtract Haley, how many are left? If I have 58 and I take away 56 of them, how many are left?
7.
8 minus 6 is? Good. So how many are left? 2. But I'm not quite done yet. Those 2 tenths can become 20 hundredths. Good. And when brother brings down the 4 hundredths I already have, how many hundredths do I have?
22.
So if I have 24 hundredths and I want to put them into 8 groups, Jaden, how many can go into each group? Good. Do you guys see why it's important to know your math facts really well? If you don't, you should be practicing them at home. Okay. So then how many did we use up? 8 times 3 is? 24. So how many do we have left? 0. When we get to 0, we know we're done. So how much does each chair weigh in pounds? 9.73 pounds. Very good. Okay. So this would be a great example of a test question because it tests a lot of the skills that we learned this module, right? Did we learn how to subtract decimals? Yeah. Did we learn how to divide decimals? Did we learn how to draw tape diagrams? Okay. And did we learn how to underline what questions are asking and circle what the important information is?
Yeah.
Very good. So this, in one question, tests 4 different skills that we learned this module. When you think like a test maker and think about what skills are being asked, it helps you study because it helps you recognize what you need to do in order to do well on the question. Does that make sense? So today to help you out, remember how on Friday you guys all got together in groups and you put down different questions for each section of each main topic that we learned about in Module 1? What I did was I went through and picked 1 or 2 of the best questions that your groups came up with and I put them into a study guide. I only picked 1 or 2 from each one because can you imagine if I put 5 different questions for each topic, you'd have a really long study guide, right? So your job today is to work by yourself or with someone at your table group, whatever you think is best for you, and work on the problems of this study guide. I am not going to be collecting this study guide. Because does it matter to me? No. If you choose to waste your time right now and not do your best quality work, is that going to help you prepare for the test tomorrow? No. But what I can confidently tell you is if you can answer all of these questions and if you can explain your thinking clearly using tape diagrams and words for each one, you will be in very good shape for the test. Does that make sense? Very good.